Hello, and welcome to the Cheesecake the Clown Show. Now today is going to be a bit of an unconventional video. We're not here to discuss architecture like we usually are, because today something that I find quite momentous has happened. So instead of criticism of your home, we're here in celebration. What has happened, you may ask? Well, you'll probably already know because I'll probably put it in the thumbnail and title of the video, but in case I decide not to, I have received a comment. That's right, one comment, my first comment. Now, those of you who are used to bigger channels, maybe like, well, Cheesecake, it's one comment, what's the big deal? You don't understand that this is my first comment. And it's a very momentous occasion indeed, because the first comment paves the way to all the comments thereafter. It also shows me that people are actually watching this show, which is a nice feeling. So I just thought I'd put on a little bit of a celebration, to give this comment the recognition it deserves. What comment is this, you may ask? Well, you could, of course, just watch the video yourself, just an idea, and then read the comment below and maybe even add your own. But this is a celebration. I'm not going to be that cruel. So let us read it. Let me pull it up now. The comment is from Frito or Frito. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. I'm going to go with Frito because that's how I first pronounced it. If I am wrong, feel free to correct me. Wouldn't it be the first time? Anyways, let me read it aloud. Great video, great takes, fantastic humor. If only you raised the curtains to the ceiling, it would be perfect. Anyways, I subbed. Smiley emoticon. Wow. Good comment. For a first comment, I think that's a pretty good one. Thank you very much, Frito, or Frito, for your lovely comment and your suggestion. Now, personally, I'd be happy with most comments, as long as it wasn't a bot comment. But I am happy that my first comment is a positive one. Anyways, now, this momentous occasion is not just deserving of one video. I mean, I dare say. It deserves a little more than that. And besides, there will be, of course, hopefully anyways, other momentous occasions that will need to be celebrated. So, let me pull the comment out. And away we go. This is the trophy room, which I made fairly soon to now. This will be our home base in this room. Now, it's just one room for now, because I only have one achievement to put in here, and I don't want to make a huge room and with only one thing displayed in it, because that would look kind of, well, sad. But we will expand it as the need grows. For now, I will be putting this in its rightful place. Make sure that's centered. There we go. Lovely and on display. How about that? And now, again, like I said, this room will expand as the need grows. You can see, of course, that there are already other spaces open. I won't tell you what those spaces are for precisely, because I don't want anyone doing it prematurely just to get featured in a video. Because that would be cheating. I want this to come naturally. It's not really a real achievement if someone's just doing it to get their 5 minutes of fame. Actually, who am I kidding? I'm the one getting my 5 minutes of fame. Someone commenting on one of my videos wouldn't even be getting 1 minute. For now, anyways, let's hope I become famous one day. Anyways, enough of that. Let's return. Actually, before we return, let's just say, once again, thank you, Frito, or Frito. Let's return. Now, there is of course one more thing to be done. If you look back at the comment, they weren't just praising me. They were giving a suggestion. Now, I wouldn't be a good YouTuber if I didn't fall to the concerns and wants of my viewers every once and now again. So, right this way we go. You may recognize this place. Now, I have done the liberty of removing the old curtains. I don't know why this rod isn't centered. Hold on. Anyways, I've done the liberty of removing the old curtains. I'm sure you remember what they looked like. Now, we will be trying Frito or Frito's suggestion in this set, and we will see definitively if it looks better or not. So, first off, with these rods here, we could keep these rods and simply raise them, but I have done my research. I do believe, now again, correct me if I'm wrong, that the technique that Frito or Frito is referring to is the floor-to-ceiling curtain. It is generally used to create an emphasis on the height of the room and to create perhaps an illusion of a higher ceiling. A very interesting technique. But another thing that I notice about these curtains is that the rods from which they are suspended upon are generally a bit more concealed, a bit more discreet. So we shall be removing these gaudy golden rods and replace them with these much more discreet and sleek white rods, white silver rods, if you prefer. Look at that, you can barely see them, but they will keep the curtains suspended and beautiful. And now it's just of course time for the curtains themselves. Again, these are generally, as far as I know anyways, these are to create the illusion of a higher ceiling. I have never had these types of curtains before. I've never seen them personally, I don't think anyways. So I couldn't tell you what they look like from personal experience, but I have seen pictures and they do look quite nice, so we will see how these look. Now, tell me if this is the vision you had in mind or not. But I've attempted to recreate it as well as I can, and, you know, it's actually pretty nice. I think, I'm not going to say it's better. I personally think that, well, for one, with the rods, I personally like the idea of all the things in my home, even the utilities of my home, being an art piece in their own right. Like, I don't want things to be hidden, I want them to be shown off, like any other decoration. Hinges, doorknobs, that sort of thing. But that is a personal preference. And I can recognize the beauty of a nice hidden curtain rod and these lovely flowing curtains. And you know what? I think that they are, at the very least, equal to, if not on a higher standard, than the previous set that I had. Of course, home design is subjective. Maybe you hate these. Maybe you love them. Like Frito or Frito. Heck, maybe Frito or Frito hates them, and I've done this entirely wrong. If that's the case, Frito or Frito, feel free to let me know in the comments below of this video. But I do hope that I've done your comment right. Anyways, all in all, I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, if you prefer this method, do apply it to your own home. But just a fair warning, don't do it just because it's trendy. I do believe these are a trendy item. Again, with the whole message and such, only do things if you actually like them or not. But I recognize these as a viable option. They are quite nice. Anyways, I'm glad to be able to have serviced your suggestion. And I may in fact be using these techniques in my own designs from here on out. Anyways, that's enough rambling on. Let's return. Now, this video is going to be just a touch shorter. I'm not going to be doing any sort of huge displays or anything. I just wanted to give that comment the recognition it deserves. Because again, we must celebrate the small wins here. In life. In YouTube. In most places. That's a good lesson for you all. Celebrate the small wins. Don't let them pass you by just because you think they're not good enough. They are good enough, and you're good enough. Unless you only shop with For Grey Furniture, in which case, I'm not going to say you're not good enough, but you have some room for improvement, I'm going to be honest here. Anyways, yeah, thank you for the comment. It was a delight to receive my very first comment. And yeah, that's really it for this video. I will hopefully be back next week with a brand new video. I already have an idea for it. Rest assured, I am working on it as we speak. Not exactly as we speak, because of course I am working on this video as I speak. But you get what I mean. Anyways, enough rambling on. This is the Cheesecake the Clown Show. I'm your host, Cheesecake the Clown. And thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a lovely day. And recording.